Yeah.
We're ready for it.
3, 2, 1, and you're live.
And we're live! Welcome to the show. I just love saying that.
I know, you do.
You look so happy when I said that.
It's nice. You seem excited.
I know.
I'm excited when you're excited.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a very exciting show tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We have a very special guest who we are very excited to have on. So I think I'm just going to jump actually right into it tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
No monologue?
No.
I didn't write any jokes.
Because I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about with our guest.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to waste time with me yammering on.
You told me some of the things, yeah.
Did I?
I think you did.
I did not.
You questioned it.
I never
You're like, we could
tell.
talk about.
Oh, yes. We're not.
Okay, good.
We X that out.
We X that out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I kind of want to talk about it now.
No, God, no. So, without further ado, one of our most favorite DJs in Hamilton, Jones Garage, aka Rachel Jones. Woo!
Hey.
Hey!
Hi. Oh, no, you first. I don't want to burn you.
Yes, the hot tea.
Thank you. The hot tea. We
Yes.
got hot tea tonight.
Lovely.
That is for sure.
That's how we like it.
Jones Garage hat.
Look at that.
Oh, yes, the toque.
The toque, ready?
It's more like a beanie than a
Coming?
toque, you
Well,
know?
I got a big
It's
huge-
kind of like a...
I got a big head. It's like an Enrique Iglesias, like a beer hero, baby.
Well, I'm
Remember in that
glad.
music video when he had that little beanie on his head?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a way back.
That was in.
It's
that.
giving you very 2001.
Now you're getting one, yeah. 2002. What were
Right.
those CDs? What were those? Remember those?
Big tunes?
Big
Like a
shiny
big
tunes, but then
shiny
there was
tunes.
like...
I feel like you probably had those.
Much Dance. Well, I had the Big Shiny Tunes. My mom had the Much Dance.
I had the much.
But then we had Columbia House anyways, so we'd get like all the most random CDs, and they were always weird mixes and compilations.
Cool.
Yeah.
Back in the
Columbia.
So it
House.
started
That was
it
like
all.
Put in the mail, I think, right?
It was.
that?
It was like,
Subscription?
yeah, it was like a subscription. It's like
Yeah.
basically a pyramid scheme for like
It's
rocket.
like Arbonne, but like.
Yeah, but for like people who want to listen to music. So essentially, you would get 100 CDs for like a penny each. That was the deal. I don't know how they made any
was,
money,
yeah, something
but
like
then
that,
there
yeah.
was some sort of
feel
thing
like I
where
remember
you
that.
had to like buy 8 of them, like whatever ones that you got for $0.01 each. You still had to commit later to buy like 8 of them, otherwise you couldn't keep them or something. I don't really know.
Price for some.
Yeah, like for all 8. So really, you're still paying like a
Oh.
bunch of money because you gotta buy like 8 CDs. We'd always
gosh.
end up with like the most random ones.
Yeah. 'cause
But
some
you
are
know,
like, oh, great.
that's what started it all. That's what
Yeah.
started the garage.
Yeah. Is that what started it?
Honestly, I can credit Columbia House to a majority of my musical upbringing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this was CDs.
CDs.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you have a Walkman, like a good CD Walkman?
I did. I had a Walkman, and I remember the first tape. Because we would like record the radio.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And that was still in the time I was like transitioning from Backstreet Boys Spice Girl life into like Nirvana
Okay. That
Soundgarden
was the
life,
tipping
you know?
point, yes.
Yeah, it was a tipping point. So
Smashing Pumpkins?
yeah,
Were you
Smashing.
into that?
Oh, that
That's
was
when I
my
kinda, like,
favorite.
swayed from like my bass line.
Yeah.
And I had the, well, more of like a juvenile,
Nice.
back that ass up when I was like 8 years old. Yeah, it was bad. Anyways, but I did have the Smashing Pumpkins tape,
Yeah,
the blue
they're the best.
cover. I remember getting it from, what was the
What year were you born?
HMV?
Yeah.
HMV, yeah.
Oh
HMV,
my
wow.
God.
I worked
That's
there.
amazing that I remember that. I can just like
surprised.
picture the sign.
Yeah, yeah.
in the mall.
Yeah.
It was HMV.
Yeah, it was HMV.
That's pretty, yeah.
I feel like my chair is
It's
like
the
really
only
close.
CD store that I worked that I had to wear a uniform.
Oh, you
HMV.
worked there?
I did.
Did you get a discount on the
But,
TNCs?
like we got things at cost, but there wasn't anything really
More was that
worth
the
it.
garage.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much. No, beat
Okay,
goes
sorry.
on.
So I cut you off. Back
No,
to
it's
the
okay.
CD Walkman.
Yeah, the
and the recording on the tape.
Yeah, so I would just make little mixtapes all the time.
So fun.
Like since grade school. So I would record it from the radio first, and then I remember when I was like probably 8 or 9, I went to my aunt and uncle's wedding, and they played Freebird by Leonard Skinner. It was the first time I ever heard it, and like I danced with my uncle to this song at the wedding, and it like blew my mind, like the whole version.
Ah.
So then I taped it onto a cassette on that side, and then the other side was like Benny and the Jets.
So good.
And every day at like recess.
I feel like I just got into Benny and the Jets, by the way.
You know, for my entire
weird.
life, I thought it was like a live recording because there's always like a crowd in the song. I didn't realize it's just like a sample to make it sound like that. I always thought it was a live song forever.
Just
Interesting.
forever listening
No,
to the
just-
live version.
Yeah.
No, I get, yeah.
I was always
no,
like-
I never thought about it either way, but
I was like, I've never heard the non-live version of this song. Like,
Yeah.
oh, because it doesn't exist.
studio recording.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Elton John.
Hey,
Totally.
can you please grab me my drink from?
Yes.
I forgot to bring that with me.
Gong Cha. What did you get?
Oh yeah, I get
Mango.
I get every show day.
Yes,
My mango
that's
smoothie.
Mike's treat for
Mike's
him to be
treat.
here.
Oh, sure. It's my treat for me to be here.
Okay, so did you grow up in Hamilton?
No, I grew up in St. Catharines.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had Buffalo was closer to me than Toronto was.
Yeah.
So I was always kind of South Sider, if you will,
Okay.
Southern Ontario, Niagara region.
Cool.
Yeah, but I've lived in
And-
Hamilton. I've been coming here. I started dating a guy in like 2008,
Okay.
and then I moved here in 2015.
Okay. And okay, so your family's still in St. Catharines.
Yeah, mostly my brother's in Hamilton now.
Okay.
Yeah, with his wife.
And your younger days growing up, what was that like?
Oh, in what way?
Yeah, that's pretty
That's very
general
broad.
question.
Go a lot of ways.
What kind of kid were you?
I definitely was a tomboy. Like I had mushroom cut 90s haircuts up until I don't think I grew my hair long until I got out of high school.
So you had a
Ever.
mushroom cut all through
Pretty
high
much.
school?
Well, no, because then early 2000s, I got into pop punk. Like it was a hard 180 from like Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls into Freebird into Blink 182.
Okay.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Puberty. So then I cut it like and spiked it. So, but you know when you
Oh,
had
yes.
like you had to comb it over and then clip it
Yes.
and then spike
Spike
it,
it
the,
on back.
like the blowout.
Yes.
I had the hedgehog for sure.
Okay.
The original like proto Karen.
Yes,
The
yes.
proto Karen. Yeah.
Karen, she
I feel like I had that for a hot second.
Oh yeah, we all did.
Didn't I?
But
I
it
had
was
short hair at one point.
always a mistake.
never
I
had
don't know.
that.
No, but I was a tomboy as well. I remember.
Yeah, I have an older brother, and he played
What's the age
instruments and
difference?
stuff. 3 years, so we're really close, and we have like a lot of the same friends. So we always
Yeah.
hung out together, went to concerts together. So I always had his hand-me-downs for everything: clothes, music. So I just
Sweet.
naturally grew up around boys. I always loved being outdoors all the time. So. I love to play sports. I wasn't very good at them, but I
What
just
sports
like
did
to
you
get
play?
out. Mostly soccer. I played roller derby for a little while,
Wow.
like 10 years
Roller
ago.
derby.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just fucking
Yeah.
out there, just
Yeah.
kicking
Yeah.
What
ass.
what
That's
is
cool.
is that like racing? Is
No, you're like, it's like a contact sport. There's
contact.
two
You beat the
teams
shit out
there a
and
ball? Is there a ball?
no, you're on skates. You're like, you're on quad skates.
Only like I don't
Oh,
really,
come
No, I
on.
don't. I don't know.
You have to, I'll take you to a bout sometime. There's like a league
Okay.
in Hamilton. They always go to Pier 8.
We need to get a TV in here or something.
I know to like
Yeah,
show
it's
me
cool.
because I
It's
don't
cool.
know any.
So
anything
you're going
ever.
around a track, but there's people that are like trying to block you, and then there's one girl in each team that's trying to go around as many times as she can to
Roller.
collect points,
Oh
basically.
my God! And your goal is to try to stop her from.
Or
getting
for
so
me,
many-
I was a jammer,
You're
so
a
mine
jammer.
would be like the one that would try to sneak through people, and like every person you pass is a point every time you go around the track. But the
It's full
blockers are like,
contact.
oh yeah, you get fucked up.
Yeah.
That's why I retired, because like all the people I was playing with were like tearing their
Broken.
MCL, ACL,
That's-
all
there's-
that stuff.
there's-
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! Well, I think I've
Concussions.
seen like the movie, but I thought it was more of a joke.
Whip It is a good movie.
Rollerball.
Whip It.
Okay,
Watch that
yeah.
one with anyway.
Yeah,
it's a good
somebody.
one. Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of movies, but I miss out. by not watching
Well, there you go.
You
movies.
seem to have watched every movie that's like the $3.99 DVD at the convenience store on the rack. No, she's seen all of those.
That's a
You
special.
can get it for $3.99.
That's a
at the
special kind
convenience
of love.
store.
Yeah,
On the
Yeah.
spindle.
yeah,
You've
for
seen
sure,
that.
for sure.
Yeah.
We used to go to Blockbuster though, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
like
our
you've
jam.
seen like Medea's Family Easter 4.
No, I did not.
Like, just like those really off the beat. Something with like Nick Cage that you didn't think he was ever in.
Gone in 60 seconds.
No,
He's
not
in
like a good one.
everything.
It's like Gone in 68 Seconds. Nick Cage is back in a sequel.
Probably.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that you'll have seen, but like Forrest Gump, no.
I've seen Forrest Gump. now.
So I only knew Forrest Gump from the soundtrack because it was one of the ones that we got from Columbia House.
Oh my God. Columbia
Bring
House
it
really
back.
made like a huge
They did.
impact.
The Dumb and Dumber soundtrack.
I feel like I had that too, actually.
Oh, it was the best.
Yeah.
So good. Anyway,
Yeah.
just wanted to bring it back full circle
Yes,
again,
please,
you know?
please. Back to Columbia House. Are you getting paid by them or what?
No, I should
Yeah,
though.
fucking
Columbia.
No, I'm
Yeah.
still paying them. I'm still paying them. That was part of the deal. It's like you pay us for the rest of your life.
Every time
We
she
have your
says their
soul.
name, she has to pay them right now. They're gonna send her a thing in the mail. $4.99 every time plus shipping and handling. $12.99.
Yeah.
Remember that?
For like
10 million
like-
easy payments of 99 cents
But it's always
for the
like, oh,
rest
yeah,
of your
it's
life.
$19.99 plus shipping and handling of $39.99. We'll arrive
That's
in 8
it.
to
Yeah,
12
you're like
weeks.
That's it. Oh man.
No problem. Did you have to send them back? Or they were yours forever?
I think you could keep the shitty ones, but I don't remember because I remember there was
Good ones
like
you had to send
we
back.
had some good ones,
And you had to pay
then
for the
we
stamp,
had
too.
like Tracy Chapman or so, like I don't know why my dad would have picked some of the ones that he picked.
What,
It was
Tracy
a lot
Chapman?
of
It's not good?
well, it was like really
Okay.
verging on like the Lilith Fair years.
Okay, I
So
don't
there's like a
know
lot of that in the mix, like Sarah McLachlan and
Okay. I had that. So are you close to your parents?
yeah, we're all really tight. My
Nice.
dad used to be a DJ.
Okay.
So that also explains things. So I always grew up around music. So
Yeah.
my dad would play records for us all the time. Like after dinner, we'd sit in the living room and he'd play all his like favorite bands and stuff. And
Instead of watching TV, like all the
yeah,
things
I
we do
mean,
now.
yeah, they were pretty young when they had us, so they were always like in touch with what was cool, and
Yeah.
that's how we got into like playing that kind of stuff. So my brother plays guitar, I sing, I play drums a little bit. I try to pretend like I could play everything else, but my brother, he's the one, it comes naturally to him. So we would just like jam together all the time. And
brother.
yeah, you
What's your
have
brother's name again?
Matt.
Matt,
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
he was at
Yeah.
one of your things.
Yeah, he comes to all my gigs. Yeah, he's the best. He's
I
always
remember
hanging
that.
out.
The next day.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You were
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was sitting and
Because
talking
you
with
remind
Rachel
him
and
of
her brother.
one of his best friends.
Oh, okay.
So like he
Oh.
naturally took to you because you have
He's
that.
Lovely.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Aw.
It was just his birthday this week, so happy birthday,
Nice. Happy birthday. What's his name?
Matt.
Matt.
Where have you
Matt,
been?
Happy birthday, Matt.
Matthew?
Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Aw.
So yeah, we're really tight. My mom and I, she comes like camping with me sometimes now. That's something we started doing together for the last few years.
Ah, so you're very outdoorsy.
Oh yeah.
And have you always been? Like your family used to go camping when you were younger?
We
and
never
stuff?
really went camping, but we'd go to like cottages.
Okay.
Play the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack driving up to Sauble Beach, you know, with like Aerosmith or something in the tape deck. Yeah, we did a lot of that kind of stuff, and I wasn't afraid to get dirty, so I was always kind of like digging for bugs and shit like that, and just kind of like the weird kid.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because
Off
you
digging
know.
for bugs by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I still do. So here we are. But no, I'm still pretty involved in like that aspect. I do a lot of solo camping and hiking and
Jesus.
road trips by myself.
I find that wild.
Literally.
Literally is right.
Yeah.
I think it's more like very out there for me because I listen to a lot of true crime.
Fair.
And
Yeah.
to me, I would not be able to spend any time alone in my car, like in a forest.
Fair. But to be fair, I was living on Hess Street for the last 3 years.
Right.
So,
So
like
you're
being
used
alone in the
to-
woods felt safer than like in my own bed
Oh
for the
my
last 3
God.
years.
Okay.
Better than the
Honestly.
the concrete jungle.
Yeah.
You know these streets
equally as
in the belly of the
wild
beast.
sometimes.
Oh, it was nuts, for
okay,
sure.
so how does that work? Like, do you actually pitch a tent or do you sleep in your car?
No, I bring tents. Sometimes I backpack and like have it with me multi-days.
Yeah.
And like set it up.
Wow. That must just be so freeing.
It is.
Oh, you always tell
Everybody
people to go
should do
camping,
something
but,
like that at
she
least
actually
once in their
does.
life. Well, I tell everybody, if you ever want to come with me, just let me know and we can make it happen.
Like a 1 day type of thing?
I mean,
Like a
Even
2 day?
do one night.
if you wanted.
You think I can't do fucking 1 night?
Oh,
But
camping,
listen,
real
what if you
camping?
did like a
100%
yurt?
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Alone. I'm cut out for this
But you
shit.
wouldn't be alone if you went with like a
You
group.
watch the show Alone?
No, I don't. No, I live that shit.
She lives it.
No, this is,
No,
you
no.
have to watch
I don't even know what it
This
is.
is not true crime. This is legit. It's where they
Okay.
drop 10 people in the middle of nowhere anyways.
Is it the like naked and scared thing?
No,
kinda?
it's not that.
Okay.
It's actual
They give these
good
people
shit.
facts.
I'm not going to talk about Alone because these people are probably like, oh, here she goes alone. Oh, again,
No,
I'm
no, no,
fucking
no.
alone.
I know.
Everybody should be watching this show.
Okay.
Anyways,
Alone.
but I think I could do a 2-day.
You think you could do it
2 days are good. Yeah, like a one
2
night or 2 night. 2 nights.
2 nights.
Give yourself 2 nights because you
Yeah,
don't
no, I
want to
wanna
be
get
like.
into it. I want to get into it.
both
I wanna
days
have
would be
to dig a
travel-
hole and
You
shit
have
in
to
it.
shit in the woods. That's the rule.
Just
You
don't
can't
shit in your
leave.
pants.
You
Again.
can't shit in the woods.
No shitting in the bed.
No, you have to do properly. None of that like, I'm a tourist out here and I'm just gonna do a doo-doo wherever the hell I want and make a mess around. Like, you have to
No,
do
it's got to be
proper pooping.
planned. It's got to
You
be
have
away from the
dig a
site.
hole,
There's
use the proper
outhouses.
stuff. No.
There's outhouses.
Yeah.
We're going real camping.
Well, there's usually like a thunder box or something for that too.
What's a
That's what they
thunder
call it.
box?
Where the thunder
It's just
and
like
lightning goes.
it's just a makeshift like toilet in the middle of the woods. It's kind of just like a cedar box. You put like cedar
Oh,
chips
okay.
in it
Okay.
to be kind of
Oh,
dampening.
natural.
And then it's just like a hole. You
Dampening.
literally shit in a hole and just like put some sawdust over top of it, and then the next
Okay.
person comes along and uses it.
Far
Oh,
too
okay.
futuristic.
You
Is
just said you wanted to do real camping. That's like as DIY as you can get,
Do
man.
real camping like I did.
You want to just
Fucking-
like shit over.
He just
like
wants to shit on a tree.
Broken down
That's what I did,
tree.
real camping
Hang
like
your
that.
ass
We-
over the
We
side.
packed 7 days.
There you go.
That was-
7 days?
Yeah.
I don't know how fucking people do that. Like portaging.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're portaging, that's intense.
That's what we did. It was
That's great.
200K, French River down in
So what's the
Jordan
longest
Bay.
you've ever
nice.
done by yourself?
Like 10 days, but I'll travel. So this year I did a road trip. I have a lot of friends down in Boston, so I drive there
Boston.
2-3 times a year. And this year I decided just before my birthday to. What are you laughing at?
No. okay,
What?
nothing. You're Boston.
Boston.
Boston. Shout outs to Boston.
Yeah, shut
Yeah.
up.
Red Sox fans, no shut up.
Yeah, it's a great place.
So sorry.
So I
And
wanted
not
to
that.
see how many mountains I could climb in a 10-day span.
Okay.
So I was driving through, because New England's like really small, and if you like to drive, which I do, it's just like a really beautiful drive through like twisting mountains
Yeah.
and stuff. So I started in, I went through Lake Tahoe because I wanted to see Lake Placid. I wanted to see where the Olympics were, and I wanted to see if there were like sea monsters in that
Alligator?
lake. Yes.
That's the big
yeah,
alligator.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
you did the
Me
Olympics
too.
ahead of the movie.
The Olympics, it was cool.
that
The
was the
whole
Olympics.
village is really, really cool.
Is it still okay?
It's just a beautiful place, but I got like a flat tire earlier in
wrong
the
with
day,
it?
so
No,
I.
because usually after Olympics come through
Oh,
places.
for
some
sure.
No,
shit
because they were
shit
having
happens.
it was going to be there again, like the next winter ones are going to be there again, I think. So people were
Oh.
training. This was in August,
Oh,
so they were definitely. It was active. It
how out
was.
of touch are we?
Yeah, I felt like I was in a movie. It was really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So 10 days.
Yeah, Lake Placid. Then I started in Vermont. So I wanted to drive through the what's the mountain range? The Adirondacks.
The Appalachian.
I was going to say the Alps.
Well, the Appalachians come after that. So Adirondacks through New York, like upstate New York, then through Vermont in the Green Mountains, which is all like Adirondacks and whatever Appalachian Trail runs through there. And then, so I stayed there for a couple nights, and then I was going through New Hampshire.
This is tense the whole time when you're sleeping.
Pretty much. But I have some, like when I get closer into the city, that's when I'll like go to a show and stay with friends.
Right.
And then the rest of it is like my own time out
Yeah.
in the woods, like doing stuff
And you
like
bring
that.
your own food.
Yeah, yeah.
And you bring a lighter to make fire.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Not a
No,
dog.
I've got all my gear.
Whittling sticks.
I have like a water purifier bag system thing,
What do
and
you sleep on?
I have like a blow up mattress. Not like a blow up, it's like a Thermarest thing. So they are like lightweight for backpacking. But if I'm doing car camping, I'll bring like way more duvets and like get all
Yeah.
comfy because I'm just right there.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
So I do that a few times a year. Yeah, through Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and so like the Catskills, the Berkshires, like all those different mountain ranges.
Amazing.
It's really cool. It's a
Yeah.
good one.
I like being outdoors. I really enjoy my time that my family and I go camping every year. And
Where do you go?
Kilbear Park.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome up there.
So far from roughing it. I mean, when I say camping, I say camping because for 1,000 years we used to all tent, and now it's moved to like everyone has a trailer
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Motorhoming.
Yeah, and now there's like electricity on the
Go
sites.
camping,
Like
go motorhome,
it's
plug
essentially
in.
like we bring our house to the woods,
Right.
which is amazing because
I mean,
you
why
have
not?
everything.
Creature
But you're outside all
comforts.
day long. It's just
Yeah.
lovely.
You're still detached, but like
Yes.
comfortable. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Posting on Instagram, real detached.
It's a good
But that's the
balance.
kind of shit I want to
She did
see.
an episode of the
you
Shea
know?
Show from the beach.
I
That's
did.
amazing.
Yeah, well,
That's
I had to keep it
commitment.
up. I had to keep it up.
Yeah,
That was my biggest
absolutely.
live show.
Yeah, that's true. It was your biggest
It's like
show.
30 people.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Anyways,
That's
so.
fun.
But I would like to do that sometime. I think it would be a fucking adventure.
I think you would like an easy way in.
Yeah.
Would be to get. Well, you don't know. To get a yurt. So like Parks Canada and
Yeah.
Ontario Parks,
Give me a yurt.
they have like at the campgrounds you can get like a tent site, or you can get a yurt.
Yes.
There's select places
I've
where you
seen
can
that.
get yurts, and
They
then
look
cabins
amazing.
too. But yeah, because then you're kind of like, you're still sheltered, but you're still sustaining yourself. Like you
Uh-huh.
would still make a fire and everything else, but they're usually heated.
Yes.
And they have like cots in them.
Yeah.
So
That would be amazing.
it's a good trade-off of
Please
like,
start there.
it's cool
and
to
then
do in the
maybe-
winter. I like to do that stuff in the winter.
Yes.
Yeah,
That'd
it's
be
really
fun.
nice.
Do you have snowshoes?
No, but I want to get some.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be like a game changer in my winter game.
totally.
I got like micro
next thing.
spikes a couple years ago,
Oh.
and they like, I'm like, I can glide on ice. I can do anything
Yeah.
that I want to do.
People climb mountains with those,
you
don't
know, climbed a couple. No, not in the winter.
they? Oh.
No, in the summer.
Okay, tell
Yeah.
us about your life in the DJ world. When did you like start becoming like? When were you like DJ
Well,
Jones Garage?
This Jones Garage started in the pandemic. But before that, when I was at Brock University in St. Catharines, where I grew up, my first year I had a show on like Wednesday nights at 10. I'd have a show on 103.7. Shout out to CFBU, the OG.
Woo woo!
You got that, Larry? Yeah, he's got it. So it burned down actually recently,
Oh,
which is
God.
really sad.
All right.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
Yeah,
it was built
R.I.P.
upon like
Like
in
Phoenix
the old
Rock.
days it was like mineral springs below the building, and like all these famous royal people would come to St. Catharines and like spa there.
Oh.
And then it turned into like student residence, and like this little radio station was in there.
Wow.
And yeah, it has like a crazy history. But they had to like remodel it, and then they did arson, so they didn't have to get the heritage permits. So, you know,
Oh.
not
shit.
nice. Anyway,
So that's where you
I started there. Yeah. Sorry. Trailing off.
It's better right.
Trail back on, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not used to talking to people. My show is just like me talking to myself. That's weird. Yeah, so I had a show there for a little while, but it was definitely taking up more of my time than like my actual schoolwork was. So I had to stop, unfortunately. I was like 18 and, you know,
Like fuck, I'm paying to be
doing a
here.
lot of
I'm gonna have to do
mushrooms
something.
at the
Right,
time,
right.
you know, as one does.
One does.
Yeah. So but like I've always wanted to get back into it, and I've just never really cared enough to follow through. It's just like another idea that just goes nowhere, right?
Right.
And so in the pandemic, my friend Lou Molinaro, you probably have seen him or met him. He comes to a lot of the nights, but he used to own This Ain't Hollywood. So This Ain't Hollywood was closing, and he found himself like not without a bar to run.
Yeah.
But he has a radio show on CFMU that he does weekly, Lose Control. And he's like, well, you used to do radio. Do you want to take over my show once a month and just like do your own thing? Because we were making like a playlist together and adding songs every day and showing each other music back and forth. And it just kept going and going, and he was like losing his mind. So he's like, you know, I like what you're listening to. I just want to see what you do with a radio show format. So you know, when somebody hands you an opportunity like that on a platter,
So fun.
what do? Like, obviously I'm going to take it. And I
Yeah.
just really felt like I had something to prove, not only to him, but to myself, and for all like the failed ideas that I had that never really had had the legs.
Sure.
So this was something that somebody was like giving me structure, because I need structure. It's like, here's a thing you can do, 2 hours once a month, and go nuts. The rest is up to you. So I was like complete creative control and freedom. And it's been over a year and a half now. It started like June 2020, 21,
Awesome.
I guess. Yeah.
And you love it?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I love it a lot.
Would you like to have more of that?
I would, but I don't have the bandwidth for more because I still have a full-time job.
What is
I do
that?
other volunteering. I work for Fisheries and Oceans Canada. So you know that like that Canada building under the Burlington Skyway Bridge, where all like the seagulls go?
Yes.
Like the Bird Island?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my office.
The Bird Island.
Bird Island, it scares the shit out of me, man. Like
Every day. You
Every
gotta
day.
fight them
Nervous
off.
about it even saying.
it's very
You were like,
uncomfortable.
yeah, that's my office.
Oh man, I've seen some shit for sure.
And what do you do in there?
So
Bird Island.
I work on Bird Island. I work in a lab that studies the Great Lakes. So it's called the Great Lakes Laboratory for Fisheries and Aquatic Science. So it's all like aquatic biologists, biodiversity science stuff.
God, is that what you went to school for?
No, I did like communications. So I'm on like the HR finance side right now, but I have been working on assignments and like getting into the communications aspect. So what I would basically do is like all the science that's happening in my region, which is like Ontario, Prairie, and Arctic, I would take all the scientific jargon and translate it into like accessible material for every Canadian to understand.
Wow.
So just take the complex science and twist it into something that sounds like fun and accessible and interesting and put it on social media.
How does one do that when you don't have the background of science?
Because I have the background of communication. So
just
science people just
translate.
don't know how to communicate. They're not the most social
Okay.
people. So I kind of fill in that gap of like, you tell me what it is that you're doing and I'll find a way to make that sound interesting to tell the next person who has no clue.
God, that's cool.
Yeah,
Do you like it?
I love it. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So that part of the job is cool. So I'm waiting to see if I have a position coming with Parks Canada, which is like the ultimate dream. Parks Canada or Environment Canada.
Where you would be doing the same thing?
Yeah, ideally in like an outreach
Your current
education
job
role.
know that you're,
Oh yeah, everybody knows that like this is the goal.
Sure,
They're really
because you're,
supportive. No, they're
okay.
great. Yeah,
She's
they're
not
really great.
permanent at the
I make
Bird-
myself
the Bird Island.
I make myself very known. My personality is very big in there.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so
Would you say you're an introvert or an extrovert?
honestly, both though. Like that's why I need that alone time when I'm
Yeah.
camping, because it's just like the balance of
Yeah.
those two connections, you know. So the radio show started first. Then the DJing was because it was COVID and nothing was open yet. And remember when like bars were just starting to open up a little bit, but you still couldn't have live music, but you could have DJs. Like people could be there playing music. But I always felt bad because I quit drinking like 4 years ago now. And when they were opening up these bars, like I don't really have a reason to go if I'm not drinking sometimes, but I don't want to make, like I'm fine with it. I don't want to make people feel weird, but because you needed reservations all the time, I'm like, I don't want to take up space.
Yeah.
And when I'm not contributing to the money by buying drinks.
Which is a very interesting concept for non-drinkers.
Yeah, it
So we were
makes you
going
feel
through when
weird.
we weren't drinking a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, but luckily, like Casbah is great because they've got like all those partake cans of like the non-alcoholic beer is becoming a trend right now,
Yeah.
and I'm not mad about
Yeah.
it.
Totally.
So it just makes things a little bit easier.
Totally.
But yeah, when that happened, I was just like, I feel insecure. Like it's all in my head,
Yeah.
of course, right? Of like taking up space. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to still be here with my friends in the crowd, but I want to feel like I can contribute something. And I also have ADHD, so I can't just sit still anyways. I'm always fidgeting. So I was like, well, I like to have control. I'm a control freak. I could just play the music and just set the vibe. Like that's what I do at my house all the time.
Yeah.
Like everybody that knows me and comes and hangs out with me knows that music is going to be involved.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just make it legit. So I
cool.
did. And luckily I have friends that have these, you know, my friend Brody owns the Casbah, so he approached me about doing the lounge gigs. And now,
Which you're still doing?
yeah, so I've gone down to bi-monthly now
Okay.
because I've added the Capitol into the
Yeah.
mix. Yeah, so I'm at the Capitol now on the third Friday. Third Friday of even months. I even have to think about it.
We're
So
gonna need that in writing.
third Friday of even months is
Michael
the
get it.
Capitol.
Michael-
Third Friday. of
But
each
I'll
month?
still
Okay.
promote. So third Friday of even months at the Capitol and second Saturday of odd months at the Casbah.
That's
So
on
what
my-
I was always the second Saturday
Yeah.
of the month. So I'm keeping that, but just like every other month instead.
Yeah.
And then switching back and forth between bars.
Cool.
Yeah, I needed to
Is that
like
a-
diversify.
for sure.
You know?
And you just see different groups of people.
And that's it too. And
Is it like different vibes?
Oh,
of music?
totally,
Okay.
completely. Yeah. So
I haven't been to
Casbah
a
Lounge.
Did you go to a Casbah bar? With
No, I've only done one, so you guys have to come to the
Yeah,
next one.
totally.
Friday, December 16th. Did you get that, Larry?
Friday,
got it.
that was like September, December 16th.
Friday, December 16th.
Yeah, it'll be my
at
last
Capital
gig of the
Bar.
year too. So please
Yes.
come out. But no, that one is definitely more of a vibe.
'Kay.
So the first time I ever went there was with you guys when
yeah.
we went before the concert.
Right.
So I had no idea what to expect. Yeah,
Oh, also,
yeah, it was my first
side
time. Mm-hmm.
note on that. Do you remember our conversation and how we were talking about how shrooms are not a good idea to do at a concert?
Oh, terrible.
Do you know when I got there?
What happened?
Someone was like, "You want some shrooms?" I was
Everybody
like,
was on
"Absolutely."
shrooms.
Absolutely. Wrecked my
Max
fucking
got
night.
lost.
Wrecked my fucking night. And I was thinking about the day
Oh,
after. I was like, we were having this conversation, like, yeah, like, don't do shrooms at a concert, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
Destroyed.
did. And that concert too was very tight.
Great
It was
concert,
tight.
great time.
It was tight.
I was very happy when I was out of that mix.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, oh, this is very lovely. But like inside, it was all of us.
It was a lot.
All of us were not happy that we did shrooms that night.
I didn't do them. It's
great.
A great time.
You didn't do
I
them?
said too much.
No,
Can
yeah, I
you,
know.
you have
I had
to
a
edit
great
me out
time.
for some things that I said.
Wonderful
No.
concert. Great
What, here?
experience.
Yeah.
Why, with the shrooms?
Yeah, I don't want to implicate anybody else.
Oh.
Don't bring up.
That's
no,
fine.
no.
They don't know. They don't know. Okay, so
Yeah, the concert. So the Capitol, I
Yes.
went there with you.
Capitol Bar.
So Capitol is all vinyl. Sometimes I do digital at Casbah, but this is just 2 turntables and a mixer. And all the vinyl is 60s, 70s, 80s, like Latin, soul, psychedelia,
Cool.
like dub reggae,
Ooh.
Afrobeat, like really groovy vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
we'll be popping in.
That's the kind of vibe you do want to be on shrooms for.
Okay, perfect. No taken.
But like, you know, I want people to, you know,
Have a
get a
good
little sexier. I want people to leave and have like get laid that night.
Okay.
Like I want to be that kind of
Perfect.
Cupid who just
Good.
like sets the mood.
What night is this?
It's Fridays.
We should go.
Friday, December 16th. Well, you should go anyway.
Yeah, we should go
But I'm
anyway.
just saying, I want to be like the spot
The
that you can
baby
take
maker.
a date. That's where you can take a date and just groove and vibe and you
Okay, I
know,
like
get a little
that.
sexy.
I'm always looking for like a sexy vibe.
That's the
and I feel
it's
like
the
we're
vibe.
missing it here.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
Not here.
Not anymore.
But okay. What is it? Second
Third
Friday
Past
of
Tuesdays
even
on the second
of an
evening
even
That's what I
month.
mean. It's on my
Wednesdays.
socials, but I'll
Okay.
promote everything. Like I always put out a poster before everything, so you'll know.
Okay.
But yeah, December 16th. It's the last one of the year.
The third Thursday of even months.
No.
The second Saturday of odd months.
Moving on
Well, that's good
from
too.
the sexy vibe, because I feel like that's a good transition. So, I mean, I had a bit of a dilemma with this whole transition.
Which hole?
Because
He paused.
okay, so I never tell my guests topics that we're going to talk about. But
No, Ooh, that was my
Rachel, Jesus.
that was my shoe.
Rachel said she wanted to get spicy on the show.
Yeah, caliente.
And then, so I built out this show. And then she also tells me, oh, well, we can't talk about XYZ because my parents might be watching.
They
this."
might be.
So, I mean, to Mr. and Mrs. Jones, we apologize.
I'm a grown woman. It's
Heather's
okay.
picks.
And maybe this is just when you should cut off.
Here
It's
we
been a
go.
real wholesome show thus far, but I think it's
Now it's
time
about to get really
exit.
wholesome.
For all of you at home with children,
Okay,
or
so
loved
no,
ones.
nothing crazy. It's just I'm always interested in talking about it. Like sex is very intriguing to me.
Yeah.
Right. I think it goes back to, I mean, it's not the same as, but like my interest in people shitting their pants. Like it's a interesting topic to talk about with people because I think it makes people slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then you get very interesting responses.
Oh yeah.
So
Get to the questions, kid.
anyway.
No, I like she's setting it up.
So why do you think it is taboo to talk about sex?
I just feel like people aren't comfortable being vulnerable. We have a lot of walls up and like we want to be perceived a certain way.
Right.
And we want to be in control of that image. And that's just something that's like you can't really get more personal than that.
Shitting
and I
your
think
pants
it's
for
like
sex.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've all shit our pants, right? Am I right? Apparently not since this guy was 5,
Yeah.
but, you know, I'm sure that's not true.
Yeah.
You know, how's your tailbone?
Wow.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting because it's like, it's something that we all, is it because there's a pleasure form to it? Like, is that what it is? Like,
I don't
if it
know.
was just like a situation of like 2 people humping, but there was never like a thing that escalated at the end, would that be as weird? It would be like shaking hands.
Yeah. I mean, if your
Like,
hand
I'm
was
saying,
on your
like,
dick.
I'm saying, is it weird because of the act itself? Or is it weird because like there's like a climax to it?
We don't talk about sex.
I think it's
because
just
sex has been just stereotyped
Yeah.
through social, religious bullshit since the dawn of all of that.
Right.
It's always been some sort of thing that's up on this like magical pedestal because it's related to reproduction, and reproduction is a thing of whatever deity is there. So it's always this, well, you know, because it's this revered thing. Because
Right.
we're better than animals. And how are we better than animals? Because we have a religion. Right?
Right.
I mean,
And then it's
tying
just
into
works.
that, I grew up with a lot of Catholic guilt.
See?
So that also really ties into the shame, I think.
Yeah.
Because you realize, I mean, it's really only North America where we're like shamed about our bodies and things like that. You go to Europe, it's,
Free.
yeah. So, because they don't make it weird. We sexualize things all the time, and it just makes it like,
Built by land of prudes.
yeah, I don't know.
Built by land
But
of
it's like,
prudes.
even when you're married though, like even within like a Catholic belief system, is it then like not okay to even talk about it when you're married? Right? So like even married couples.
It's okay to
Like, talk about it with who?
Everyone's
Like
okay
each
to
other,
talk.
or just in
Each
general?
other. In general. I mean like girlfriends
Everyone should
talk
be
about
talking
sex.
about it. Yeah.
Girlfriends for sure. And guys probably do too. But I mean like for me, I don't see like a ton of people on social media talking about sex.
What are you searching? I'm sure you could find.
There's websites for that, you know.
There are 1 or 2 I've heard, yes, where you can find things about sexual
But it's,
intercourse.
I think what's interesting to me is that, because I think I somewhat push the envelope sometimes with things that I post.
Really?
I think,
In
but
a
you do it in a classy
roundabout
way.
Like I just posted a thing
Yeah.
about like wearing socks and
Yeah,
you're
it's so
gonna have an
true. I've
orgasm
read that
or whatever.
before because you're like the blood flow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like little things like that I find comical, but I put it out there to see kind of like what people are also thinking about it. And it's crazy because the most people I would never expect to reach out about those things, they're the ones like commenting on those posts. So it's
There you go.
just, it's very crazy.
Yeah, it's always the ones that you least expect that are like the kinkiest.
The freaks.
Yeah, the freaks.
Do you have a type?
Like sexually or
Sexually.
in general? I don't know if it's a type as much as like a need.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's a need. I like
Well,
that.
I mean, I know what I don't like,
Okay.
I'll tell you what,
and
that's the need.
I'm just a very
Is that in the way of like personality or?
no, just sort of like initiative, I guess,
Okay.
and intentions.
Okay.
I am a very aggressive person.
Oh.
I'm very alpha, and I'm very
So you're the
dominating.
initiator.
Usually,
Okay.
but I don't like always want to be that, you know?
Right.
There's like a power struggle, but I
Okay.
want somebody that can meet me and challenge me
Yeah.
with that power dynamic and not just be submissive,
Right.
because that's too easy.
Right.
You know, I don't really get much out of that.
Yeah.
They do, but I'm just like,
You need more.
I
More
need
substance.
more. I need somebody to like, you know,
Open with it both ways.
challenge. Yeah, exactly.
Give you a good,
No, I just
good, like smack.
no,
Roller
not
derby?
no. Honestly, not even necessarily like physically. More of just even the communication.
Math
Okay.
skills.
I like to talk a lot, so you know, just communicating with your partner,
Totally.
really connecting in that way,
Yeah.
and nothing like depraved and violent. Just you know,
No.
when you're saying like you want somebody to shake me or something.
Well,
But you know, I just like to play around with that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, the
how do you feel
balance.
about dirty talk?
Oh, it's great. I have
Yeah.
a radio voice. What do you think?
Totally. No, my girlfriend.
That's my calling card, baby. That is like what I'm known for.
Hotline bling. No, my girlfriends and I were joking around about this because, I mean, it depends on the moment, of course. But I was fucking around with Mike, not legitimately, but like joking around with him, and and they like dared me to say some like really crazy shit. Didn't even faze him.
Like what?
I'm not even gonna say it here, but like
it
was.
said, "Don't
I
freeze
think it was
me."
on multiple occasions, but he didn't even flinch.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
So funny.
Yeah, because guys are all disgusting. We're all
You've-
disgusting.
they've
pigs.
seen it all
We're all
already.
Just waiting for our opportunity. You can say whatever you want. We're like, yeah, am I gonna get it? Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's all. We're all the same. We're all just waiting to have sex with you.
Right.
All it is.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I wish.
And there's guys out there right now acting macho. No, not me, man. I fucking no, you don't. You know you don't.
No.
Even when you go out to, I'm gonna pick up a girl. You're waiting for her to decide to sleep with you.
Right.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I
We're all
prefer it when he will take more initiative and be like, I know what I want and I'm not afraid to get it. If I
Yes.
want something, I'm like laser beam.
Right.
And I won't stop and I get what I want.
Right.
So if I have the crosshairs, like I want them to meet me halfway, you know? Like
Target acquired.
I want it to be just as like, I don't like to play games, you know?
Yes.
Just like tell me what you want and
Yeah.
that's a turn on for me. Somebody that knows what they want and
Yeah.
what they like. But the dirty talk though, if you're having a bad time
Yeah.
and you just want it to be done with, I have like a Rolodex of just like, I know that if I say this, it's over. So if I want it to end,
So like what? Mood squasher,
no, like
or kick it into high gear?
it's gonna
We're like,
finish.
we're
Yeah,
getting
it's like we need
wrapped
to
up.
wrap this up here.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's like certain tricks and things you can say
Oh.
that'll just
Oh.
make it happen.
Maybe you can
I
tell
keep
them.
that like in the back,
back
pocket,
pocket.
if I need to.
What?
She keeps it in the back pocket. Not that she's
Not in the front
she wouldn't
pocket.
be wearing a back
Keep that.
pocket, but she keeps
I keep that one
it
in the fanny pack.
Across your chest.
Yes, exactly. That's terrible. That luckily doesn't happen for me often. The older I get, the better my sex life has become.
right. But you can probably like wean out the
Yeah,
good from
it's
the bad.
it's quality over quantity these days in my
Totally.
30s. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to get married?
No.
Do you want to have kids?
No.
Okay, cool.
Not.
But like, are
even
you
close.
into a long-term relationship with someone?
Not
or
really.
or like not even.
long term, yeah. I've had some relationships, and I've like my longest was 5 years, but I've been single now for 3.5, I guess. But I have people that are really special to me,
Yeah.
and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a sexual relationship, but I'll have like an emotional connection with this person, a sexual connection with this person, something else with this person, and like I just don't really feel like I could expect just one person to
Have everything.
tick all those boxes for me because I have so many different things happening in my life.
Right.
I'm really busy,
Yeah.
but I don't expect to be everything to somebody else. So why would I expect somebody to be everything for me? If you can find that person, that's great.
Yeah.
But I just know that like my needs are a little more complex than that, and I don't expect anyone to
Check all
like
the boxes.
yeah, like or even make sacrifices for me. Like you do your thing, I'll see you when I see you. When we need that connection, I'll give you a call, and then it's cool when it's on pause, you know. Then it's like kind of check in with some other people too. And these are even some of my friends, like nothing even romantic, just people that you can really connect that energy with and grow together and just both walk away like gaining something from the exchange, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I focus on for my relationships in my life.
Yeah. I feel like that is so interesting, and again, I mean, not something that is so like mainstream, right? But like we have a friend of ours who's like in a similar situation, and
Yeah.
it's very interesting because before I would always be like, oh, like, are you gonna, oh, do you like him? Like, are you gonna be in a relationship? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, that's not my goal.
No.
She's like, that's not what I'm here for. She's like, exact same thing. Like, she has certain people that fulfill different things, and that's how she's totally fine with going about life.
Yeah,
But it's unusual, I think, for us to understand that
for sure.
this could actually be how you live your entire life
Yeah.
completely happy, because every mold isn't the same for everybody.
once I let go of the pressure of thinking I needed to do those traditional things, I was so liberated.
Totally.
And, you know, I have a nephew now, and my parents are stoked about that, and that's good. I love being the aunt, you know, but just, I don't know. I like to keep my options open. No, I don't know. No, to be fair though, like everybody that I do have a connection with is aware that I have them with other people too. And I think that's the difference now between my 20s and my 30s is like
full transparency.
The transparency and just making sure that people are aware of the situation. So if like feelings or emotions do get involved, like try to be realistic about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I haven't really had anybody come into my life in that time that's really made me want to consider
changing things up.
Yeah. But that's okay. I'm not looking, and I am happy doing my thing, being independent and having.
How do your parents feel about that?
I think they've accepted over time now that like I'm not going to be a traditional person, and they see like the benefit of that now too, because like I grew up in a house that was very like volunteer oriented. So my dad does a lot of volunteer work. He runs like a special needs hockey league for like 30 years now, and so I used to help him coach and stuff like that growing up. But now I do volunteer work, like Hamilton Naturalist Club.
What's that?
I'm on. So everyone thinks I'm like a nudist.
I was
It's not.
gonna
I
say,
know. I knew one of
100%.
you would have thought it.
Why? You disappointed me.
Now that's a naturist.
Okay.
A naturalist is somebody that like studies the natural environment essentially. So like plants and animals and stuff like that. So it's a club. It's like over 100 years old in Hamilton that's like dedicated to protecting like special biodiversity spots along Hamilton. So like Coots Paradise and stuff like that, you know, just like protected areas. So we buy land so we can continue to maintain and protect it through generations.
So you would do like fundraising and stuff? Is
Yeah,
that
like there's part of it, but there's like a board of directors. So I'm the vice president right now. I'll be the president next year.
Nice.
One of the
Congrats.
youngest females ever in 100 years.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about that. But it's because it's all like old white dudes that talk about birds. That's basically what it is. But I started out by doing like field events. So I would organize like experts that knew about like trees or fungi and like do these guided hikes with them around Hamilton, and people would come and just like listen to what they had to say
So cool.
about the places.
Is there any fungi out there that we can eat?
I'm still trying to find them, but
All right, keep an eye out.
Pardon me?
What?
Oh my gosh.
A fun guy that we can
she'll
eat?
notice it later when she edits it. Don't worry, you don't have to explain the joke to her. She'll let her figure it out later.
Wow, I was talking about mushrooms.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're
that
talking
too.
about fungi.
I'm talking about fun guys. Any fun guys
fun
out there?
guys.
Any fun guys out there that I could eat?
But there you go. We need you for the the sound
I'm
effects.
telling you, I need to be, for everybody that was not privy to that conversation, I am trying to convince Shea that she needs to have
She
a
doesn't have
live
to convince
DJ
me. I'm already sold.
or drums. Yeah.
Maybe we should bring it
Saved
in.
your life with a song. Yeah.
Maybe we should bring her.
Like
maybe-
Howard Stern has.
Maybe we'll
those
bring you
people.
in
What are
for
they?
because we have a comedian coming on.
Oh.
Yes, Eric Johnston.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hamilton guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Johnston.
Johnston. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
How do we feel about manscaping?
I don't like it.
You like full bore?
No.
Full
Trim.
bore. That's manscaping.
Like, I like a hairy dude.
Okay.
Like a, you know, like
Man.
a husky man.
Yeah.
Like I want a man.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be like smoother than me.
Right.
How dare you?
Yeah. It's like,
When it's like down there shaved, like
Yeah.
that creeps me out. Like, are you a little boy?
right.
It's weird.
I think it's tough for guys because, like, how do you? I feel like they can't talk about that with their friends. Like, hey, man, like, do you
But I
shave
think
your
they
junk?
should though. I feel like that would be something that you wouldn't. I don't know.
But I feel like it's also very personal preference because some people
Yeah.
feel better just cleaned up.
Clean up is great. I
Yeah.
prefer that. I don't want to be like going down on
Choking
you
on
and
your
choking on
hair.
like trying to floss my teeth. I
Right.
ain't like going to the dentist when I'm going down there. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't want to pull it if.
Yeah. It might be.
So, you know, like clean it up, but don't like shave it off.
Right.
That's weird.
Do you ask your buddies about what they do?
Do I ask them? I've been with you for 15 years. Hey, Butts, change it up for the wife. It's fresh and new out there. Should I get like a, that high and tight cut? What is it? What do we do?
Crew cut?
Curl it? I don't know.
Oh, no. Going to a sex club or an ultra romantic date night in?
Oh, sex club for sure. And I've been talking to my friends about this lately. I want to go to one.
Have you been to one before?
No, but I have a lot of friends who have gone in like LA and then in Montreal and Toronto.
Yeah.
And I really want to see what it's all about. Like, I
It's
think
quite
just to
a-
observe. I don't know if I'd participate.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely want to like be a voyeur
Yes.
of that.
Yes. It's quite something.
Hamilton needs one. We were talking about like building like an underground tunnel system that goes to like different strip clubs and sex clubs, like
Bath
Eyes
club.
Wide Shut style.
Hot tubs down there?
Oh yeah, the secret jacuzzis.
Yeah.
The mineral springs underneath the building.
I don't think there's any mineral springs in Hamilton, but
city needs an
fucking
underground
sex
tunnel
club.
system of fucking.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it sure does.
There's people running around underneath the city.
They're all doing it above ground now.
Yes.
So like just
Why not take it underground?
Yeah. Just
More like a speakeasy type of situation.
bootleg and
Yeah. But anyways, sex clubs are very entertaining.
you been to one?
We have, yes.
Oh, where?
To observe. We were
Okay, yeah, that's
observers.
okay.
We just kind of fell into it. We went to one.
I tripped and fell on it.
But no, it is, I recommend everyone go to a sex club because it's, I mean, you can't even describe what you see there.
Oh, interesting.
Quite exhilarating.
Yeah, I feel like it would blow my mind a little bit. Sex club.
Okay, wait, last
I
one.
need to hear the rest about the sex
Oh
club.
yeah, we can tell you offline.
Okay.
That's a more offline conversation.
All right.
Okay, last one. Car sex versus shower sex.
Car.
Definitely.
Big time.
I feel like
With who?
your truck, great backseat.
Rapid.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not a new one.
Anyways, one of the trucks that you've had.
Hey, your parents watch this.
We're married. I feel like it's fucking free game for me now.
Go to the
See these
drive-in.
people
I feel like
over the
I'm.
holidays.
It's like I'm smoking a cigarette with this pen.
To see these people over the holidays now.
I don't think they watch this far in. I told them to deke out earlier on, so it's their fault.
They don't
at
like
this
getting
point.
deep.
No, but I feel like shower sex
It's a recipe for disaster.
it's very difficult.
Oh yeah.
Like in the movies, they make it look like it's the most easiest thing ever.
No.
It's not at all.
And then there's like bacteria in the water, like it's very like, do you not
the
find
water?
it very squeaky? Like it's like, for something so wet, it's very drying.
Right. Well, Hamilton's got some good water.
Yeah, it does, but I just don't want to like, maybe I'm thinking more of like hot tub, but
Yeah,
a
no.
shower,
God, that's a yeast infection
you can,
waiting to happen.
yeah, you can like slip and then it's no good. You can't
Yeah.
find like the right angle for that.
Totally. Definitely the car.
The car, you can definitely get a little bit more connected.
Right. A little more leverage.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
There's more opportunity. Yeah, showers, no, never again.
No.
Very
Well,
nice.
I mean, okay, I've been very tame for the last few shows. So like we were due for like something a little bit more. I'm sorry, Larry, we should have briefed you on this. Poor dear. You're okay? Taking notes?
He's cracking a fatty over there.
Don't punch fat chicks.
Oh
No! Oh my
Cracking a
no! I'll
fatty.
tongue punch
Isn't
you.
that what it meant?
Oh my God. No. Tongue
Was that
punch
not
you?
what it meant?
No.
Cracking a fatty?
You
What
obviously
did that mean?
Getting a boner.
getting an erection.
Yeah,
Getting a woody.
thank you.
Yeah. On that note, I think we are wrapping up. So, Rachel, thank you
Yes.
so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for
We
having
really
me.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Again apologize to her parents for
Oh,
any
it's okay. I'm not going to tell them
information
about
that was
this.
shared. Yeah, just no.
We'll keep this one on the gram.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
hidden from my stories.
Oh, okay, perfect. Good. Okay.
Are they really?
All of my family is like hidden from my stories.
That's a
It's the
really
only
good
place I
idea.
can. If you really want to know where I can be the real me, it's my Jones Garage Instagram stories.
Okay, check her
Everyone
out
that's
there.
blocked, that needs to be blocked.
It's just
Don't get blocked.
I like when I see the green circle on people.
Oh, then
so
you
I'm
really
like,
know. You've
some
been
shit's
chosen.
there.
You're the chosen
You know,
one.
If I ever get the green circle, a friend has added me to the green circle,
Oh, yeah.
and I look at it, and it's nothing like...
A lot of
I'm
titties on my
upset.
feed. It's
Oh,
great.
okay.
Really?
Just my girlfriends just like appreciating each other's boobs.
Oh,
It's the best.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You're good friends.
Really nice.
My friends don't do that with me.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay, well, this is how we do the sign off. So
Okay.
grab your cup. And we say, until next time,
Until next time,
we'll see ya
we'll see ya
when we see ya.
when we see ya.
Cheers!
Cheers. Do you have a cup?
No.
No, it's only 2 cups.
2 cups.
We don't have the
two
budget for a third.
2 girls, 2
One
cups.
guy, 2 cups.
Great job, Larry.
Oh.